Hi, this is Tanya from Love Butter Tarot, back with the cards for the 14th of August 2017. Right, okay, 2 days into Mercury retrograde and who is feeling it? I need to say a few apologies, okay, because this weekend, obviously we were in the shadow of Mercury still. I was basically at a point and I was like, I just need a bit peace and quiet. And I said it out loud. Within an hour of saying that, I'd smashed my phone completely to the point where it just wouldn't work. I couldn't get anything on it at all. Obviously, it being the weekend, I couldn't get a one until Monday. And my computer went off as well. Okay, so I've had a complete Mercury retrograde has hit me hard. It slapped me right smack bang in the face. So anybody that sent me messages over the weekend or anything like that, there's a lot of things lost. I've actually lost years of photos on my phone, messages, everything like that. Everything has been wiped, okay? My computer as well. Nearly everything has been wiped on it. But to me, it's like, right, okay, that needed to go and start again. But the communications have not been good. It's a tough one, this Mercury. So if any of you are experiencing it, then know that you are not alone, okay? But all you can do is just ride the wave. We've got another till the 5th of September, I think, so just expect the unexpected as well. I also want to say that please bear in mind that I cannot comment on your situation personally unless I am doing a reading. I get a lot of emails every single day, and there's a lot of people that are struggling and things like that, and I appreciate that, and I wished I could give to everybody, but I can't. I do the videos, that is what I can offer for free. Anything else needs to be done with a personal reading, okay? Because it's just, I cannot, and, for me to tune into somebody's situation, it takes a lot of energy. And like I say, if you send me one, you can guarantee there are at least another 40, 50 messages along the same lines, okay? And as much as I would like to help, I can't, So the only way I can look at your situation is if you have a personal reading as well, and I cannot just have a chit chat neither. There's a lot of people just want to chat, but it's I do what I can, okay? I do also want to say as well, thank you so much for all of the messages of support last week. I am absolutely fine. I am totally fine with it. I just needed to get stuff out there. So it wasn't, I wasn't massively affected by it. I just needed to address it. But I got some absolutely amazing, wonderful messages, and I'm deeply grateful for every single one of them. Okay, so I am. It's it makes so much of a difference as well. So please know that you do make a difference. These little messages, they mean the world to me. So right, the cards today. I am apologizing in advance for these cards today. Okay, I got told to use the Thoth deck. I don't like this deck. It's a deck I have never gelled with. I have a big issue with Crowley myself, okay, for many reasons. But, I do realise that they are quite insightful cards, and I was told today to use them, and then when I looked at them, I was like, why? I wanted to come in, my first video of the week, and I wanted it to be all happy and joyful and everything, but they wanted other things. So the card that I pulled from the Thoth deck is the 5 of Discs, and this is entitled Worry. But all of the cards I pulled today were in the reverse position, which is so strange because I don't use reversals normally, But like I say, there's a way, and I really feel there's a loss of faith at the moment. This is what I feel. I feel your faith is being tested, and you feel like you have lost the faith as well. Because this card is talking about fear. It's talking about loss. It's destruction. It's being held back. It's things happening out of the blue that you didn't predict, and and them not being good things, and like it's feeling like your circumstances are worsening. Now what they're saying to me there is sometimes things need to get bad before they get better. So if they elaborate on that, I'll let you know. So I think sometimes we need to I don't know, we need to feel the pain. We need to see what predicament we're in before we actually do something about it, because a lot of times when things are okay, we stick with them. It's like fine, you know, the word fine, when people say, oh yeah, I'm fine, everything is fine. You know, to me, fine means fucked up, insecure, neurotic and emotional. You know, so fine is not a good place to be. But a lot of people stay in fine because it's easy and they accept what is going on, you know. So this card is talking about that in a way, and it's saying that things have had to get worse in order for you to do something about them. Now, what we've got to remember with this, even though it does look quite bleak, is that after the 5 of discs comes the 6, okay? And the 6 is all about sharing. In the Thoth deck, it's all about success, okay? So this is about sort of, there's a unity, there's a mixing with others, there's a getting help in situations and things like that comes after this. But sometimes you need to be at your lowest ebb before you actually decide that that is what you want to go. You know, they say you don't realise what you had until it's gone. And this is the type of feeling that I'm getting with this card here. So some of you could be experiencing a loss at the moment, okay? Somebody, I don't feel this is a loss as in death, somebody passing over. I feel this could be a loss as in somebody going out of your life. Somebody who you may not have treated with the appreciation that was needed, you know, or somebody might have not treated you with the appreciation, you know, somebody might not have valued you at the time and now you're gone, or somebody may have gone because they weren't getting the care and value that they deserved as well. So it's like I say, this card is not a nice card today. And what this is talking about is it's talking about going internal and into your head, and how there's a lot of emotional fear there, okay? This is what I'm feeling here. A lot of emotional fear, a lot of feeling out on your own, feeling like you have been rejected, or feeling like you have been left behind in some way. I feel there could also be monetary anxiety around this as well, feeling like you haven't got enough. So can you see where we're going with this? There's this feeling of desolation and this feeling of loss. But what this card is saying as well is it's sort of, a lot of this is unnecessary mental and emotional baggage, you know. It's you're carrying things in your head and they may not be real, okay? So this is it, make sure it's real. And it's like you don't feel secure, something is threatening your security, you know, and this is feeding your own fear as well. And it's, I always say, don't feed the fears, you know. If we feed them, they will grow, because fear is a very powerful emotion, and if we allow it, it's like if we give it an inch, it will take a mile, okay? And then it just grows and grows and grows. And when we're living in fear, what happens is it keeps us stuck, okay? Now, when I looked at this card, the first thing I seen was it was a bit like a firing line. That's what I felt. So this could either be you doing it, or it could be projected at you. And it feels like everybody seems to be, you know, like pointing a gun at you. You know, can you imagine standing in a firing line in the, like, what was it, the French Foreign Legion, where they used to line them up to be shot, and there was this fear of what was going to happen, you know, obviously and naturally. And this is what it feels like. It feels like you are being the target, or you are making somebody else the target of your discomfort. You know, if you are being made the target of somebody's discomfort, you will be feeling uncomfortable as well, you know. So it's not a nice card. There's a lot of darkness around this, dark thoughts, worry, anxiety, stress, you know. And this is saying, you know, if you feed fear, if you allow fear to actually take over, then this is where you will stay stuck. And it's not about that, it's about facing over it. Now, I did, when I pulled this card, I pulled another card just to clarify, because I didn't like the cards today, and I'm not going to go massively into this, but the card that I pulled was love, okay? So with this, it could be either you're fearing a situation that you are emotionally invested in, that this is actually causing you to feel loss, or it could be saying to you, you know, switch your fear from fear to love. Okay, when we are coming from a love base, we know that we have nothing to fear. These fear and love cannot exist in the same place. Okay, so whatever the situation is, send love to it, because there is no love there. That is the thing. It is not coming from love. So love needs to be injected into it. This is when the flow will come, and this is when you will feel better. Because with this card, I'm feeling like, it feels like you're chasing something, or you're chasing... You're wanting somebody to see you, you're wanting somebody to appreciate you, you're wanting somebody to value you, because you're not feeling valued, okay? This is the thing, you're not feeling valued in a way. But this could be your own thinking, so communication and clear communication is massively necessary around this, okay? Don't play the victim and don't take a ticket to the pity party, because that will not help this. That will keep you there. This card is also saying practice self-love, okay? If somebody else is not giving you the love that you want, give it to yourself. Because if you're not practicing self-love, then this is showing other people how they can be around you, okay? What you are prepared to accept. And if you are not taking in self-love, then other people will not see that they need to treat you in this way. So it's like I say, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. But like I say, there's a lot of loss here and a lot of anxiety as well, So please try and get out of your head. The Osho card that I pulled today is the morality, which is upside down again. It's in the reverse, and I don't like this card. Out of all of my decks and all of my cards, this is the card that I dislike the most. I don't like the Queen of Swords within the cards. Whenever that has came up in readings for people, there's always something to be watchful of, and this card is coinciding with the Queen of Swords, but again, this is in the reverse. And what I feel, this is morality, Now, morals are good. Morals are good to have within your life. I've got morals, I've got high ones, and some people haven't got them as high, so they actually don't like you putting morals down. With me, one of the things I have is respect, because I give respect out. So that is what I will only accept back, and some people don't like that. They think they can say whatever they want, because they're hurting or because they're angry or whatever, and then it's just going to be dismissed. That doesn't work, It's like I said last week, you've got to be very careful of your words. But this card, it's using morals or morality to actually keep somebody stuck or under control. And this is what it is. So this could be you doing it, or it could be somebody doing it to you. It's a very, very cold card like this, There's no love there. There's no warmth there. And this is almost prison-like. And what this is saying is, when you cut yourself off and when you sort of have this feeling of lack, or you should be doing this or you should be doing that, or you are sitting there judging other people, this is keeping you imprisoned, okay? And it's, if we have a look at that card, when we look at it that way, I always see this as like a nuclear bomb behind it, okay? And a nuclear bomb can cause immediate and delayed destruction, okay, and devastation. So this is saying whatever is going on at the moment, this could carry on unless it is nipped in the bud as well. So this is saying, if we have a look at her mouth, it's tight, it's pensive, her hands are clasped. There's a bitterness with this, okay? And within life, if you turn bitter, your life is not going to get better. Okay, when you are sitting and you are sweating lemon juice or something like that because of the bitterness within you, that is not going to make your life better. It is not going to make you a better person, because that is, you're coming from a place of fear. And when we force people to do things through fear, that is not love, that is control. And people may do them for a while, but they will get sick. Because fear fear is not the same as being, what would you rather be done? Would you rather be loved, or would you rather be feared? Because some people get quite a kick out of being feared, you know. I got threatened last night, of somebody actually threatened. I was like, really, please don't do that to me. Please don't, you know, because that is, you know, I don't play into threats in any way. But what happens when you are like this cuts your flow off, okay? Or anybody who is around you who is like this is cutting their flow of life off, and then they're wanting to in turn cut yours off or cut somebody else's off, you know, because there is severe judgment with this. And, you know, whether this is judgment that we are applying to ourselves as well, judgment that is put on it by others, or judgments that we are given to other people, when we judge, we are stopping ourselves from experiencing the beauty and the serenity of the world, but also within. Because this is what we all want. And, you know, when we don't rise, you know, to the bait or whatever, because like I say, there's a lot of people love it. They thrive on the drama, and this is because they've forgot their dreams. Okay, so when your dreams go, as I've said before, the void is usually filled with drama. And like I say, this is it. It stops the serenity. It stops the beauty that you can experience every single day. So a lot of people, when they judge somebody, you know, Wayne Dyer says it, Dr. Wayne Dyer, beautiful, beautiful man. And Wayne Dyer says, when you judge another person, you are defining yourself and not them. You know, so it says more about the person that is doing the judging than the person who is being judged. You know, and people within life, we have this like, this is right, this is wrong, I'm right, I'm wrong. You know, we're told that we're a good person or a bad person by having to fit into what other people's ideals are, you know. So this isn't based on who we actually are. It's whether we are fulfilling another person's needs. And sometimes, like I say, with this 5 of coins, this is what we're doing. We're wanting to be loved. We're wanting to be valued. So we are compromising ourselves in that, for that need, you know, and we are putting up with behaviour that is not acceptable, you know, like this. So, you know, it's this person, whoever is doing this, whether this is you or somebody around you, they are locked, they are rigid, you know, they have this polarised view of how life should be. They see things as black and white, and they show contempt to anybody else who actually blurs their edges and brings a little bit of colour in. They constantly judge as well because they think that keeps them in control, you know. And it's like, you know, they are not trying to just put other people in cages. They are also putting themselves in a cage, you know. Read a thing the other day and it said every single one of us is in a cage with the door wide open, and it's up to us whether we sort of step out of that. And this again is like boundaries, what we were talking about the other day. You know, don't allow yourself to feel like this, or don't allow anybody else to make you feel like this. So get out of your head and you make action for yourself. Because some people can see a negative in anything. And this is quite interesting when we're talking about people here and that, because it's like, you know, some people you can say, whatever, you know. I know somebody who won on the lottery, okay, and they won quite a lot of money, like pretty much life changing. It was around about £50,000. And the first thing they said was, yeah, but if it had have been last week, I would have won 300,000. So they were not grateful for what they were getting. There was still a resentment there, you know. And like I say, there's some people can see the bad in everything. There's some people who can win £1 on a scratch card and be ecstatic. And this is sort of, choose what person you want to be. Choose who you want to be around as well, you know, because if you are around negative people, you will start to develop that. They say that we become like the 5 people that we're around most. And in this last 24 hours, I've spoke to my 5 closest people. And I'm so pleased that if I like sort of become them, that would be a goal of mine, you know, because each single one is very, they're admirable, they have beautiful morals, and they have beautiful big hearts as well, you know. So like I say, this, When you look at the positives all the time, you fill your world with colour and you don't live in this black and white closed off world. You know, we become enlightened because our morality then sort of diminishes. You know, we become more aware. We offer kindness and compassion to situations rather than like sort of projecting hate into them because we are living in fear. Because like I say, when we are living in love, that means that we're not living in judgment. You can't do it, you know. So this card is saying today, look at your life today. Look at, you know, you may be trying to take the moral high ground in something, or somebody might be trying to take the moral high ground for you. You know, are you judging and controlling, or are you being judged and controlled as well? You know, life is never black and white here, but if we work from a heart base at all times, there is never any right or wrong. You know, the interesting thing with this is when I pulled this again, I pulled another card to clarify, and I got conditioning, which I love this card. And this is saying, you know, if we have a look, that lion is pretending to be a sheep because that's what he knows, you know, and that is keeping him tied. Now, it's that lion is not. That lion is very, very different. So again, this I feel is talking about, look at who you are spending your time with. Look at the world you are inhabiting. Is that really the world that you were meant to be in? Do you really feel comfortable in that? Or are you just following the actions of others because that is accepted? Because that can be quite detrimental to you, and that can hold you back from experiencing your greatness as well. You know, I've said this before, you weren't born to fit in. And if you start taking the behaviour of other people, you know, that isn't that good and it's not coming from a heart base, you will eventually sort of become that person, or you will be put in the same category as that person as well. So this is saying about, you know, break away. If something is not right, speak up, you know. A lot of times people gossip, and it's like, you know, if somebody comes over to you gossiping, call them out on it and say, why would I want to know this? Question that. If they're talking about somebody else, that is none of your business. So I say to them, you know, why would I want to know this? And that will stop them dead in their tracks. You know, don't be a part of the negativity. Don't play into it, you know, because that is what you will get back if you do. So, like I say, very strange cards today. The Colette Baron Reid card that I picked is Chop Wood, which we had, was it last week or the week before? But again, it's in the protection position. And what this is saying here is, are you being, says, making you ask, are you being like a bit of an armchair warrior here at the moment? You know, are you sort of devoting too much time to your negative thinking? Are you perhaps becoming a victim in some way, or a victor, you know? And it's saying, like I say, you know, don't give up on your dreams, because you can, or you can blame other people for them as well. Like I say, put them in the firing line, but it is your choice. And it's saying, you know, you can't blame other people for what is going wrong in your life. You need to make a choice. You need to make a decision. And it doesn't matter what situation we're in, we choose to stay there. You know, we can get out. There is, you know, and I know people will slate me for this, but there are refuges. People that are having disgusting, horrible, really, you know, abusive lives can manage to leave, you know. So it's like I say, it is possible. You just need to realise that you can. Like I say, we're all in cages, but the doors are open. So this is saying you need to take responsibility for yourself. And I know people won't like this, and I know I'll get slated for this, but, you know, it's right. You know, if we live in a feeling of victimhood, you know, and we are underachieving or whatever and blaming other people for it, you know, we are going to stay like that. We are going to stay in that place, you know. But if we actually decide, right, okay, I don't want this anymore, I don't want to be like this, because that is not a nice place to inhabit. Like I say, success comes after that. So you can actually strive to success. So what this card is saying is you could be digging yourself a deeper hole. When I looked at this actually looked quite like bomb-like, which is strange, you know, because of this. I mean, You know, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world today that's just been brought in when I said there, bomb-like, and it's like, you look at that situation, you know, both parties wanting to prove who's got the biggest dick sort of thing, you know, that's all it's about, you know, and it could have a massive fallout. It could be devastating for people that don't want this. So like I say, you know, be careful about following this flock and going along with it, because as we have seen in the news this weekend, you know, it's not pretty. I'm not saying this is applying to your life, but I'm saying that is a massive example of this. But like I say, this looks like a bomb of some sort, and it's going down, so you could be digging yourself into a deeper hole here, you know, by having this sort of attitude. When we chop wood, as we said last week, you know, we are chopping wood to give us warmth. We're doing it. It's necessary. It's for a reason. When we stop doing it and we have inaction, we're going to go cold, and we're going to turn out like this, you know. When we segregate ourselves from people as well, that makes us cold, you know. So this card is saying here, it's time to take action. You know, take a small step to get you out of this place of worry. Even if it's doing a 5-minute meditation, you know, doing something that centers yourself, especially at the moment with these energies. We need to keep centered. You know, if we go off center, then, you know, we're done for. It's sort of, we go down this sorry road. So they say with this card, it's take one step towards the gods, and the gods will take 10 steps towards you. Now this is just bringing in there, they told me this the other day. It was actually during a reading with somebody, and it's amazing some of the things they come out. And when I'm saying stay centered, I don't know if any of you have know what a spirit level is. I'm sure that's the right word for it. And it's what, when you're building something, you actually use it. And it's usually yellow, it's straight edges, and it's got a little green bubble in it in the centre. A little green sort of vial with green liquid in. And there's a bubble in that green, and it's in between two lines. And that is, you know when something's straight, because that bubble is direct centre. So they put it on a surface. I hope I'm explaining this right. And Spirit said to me the other day, they were showing me this, and they were showing me like somebody walking on a tightrope. And they were on a tightrope, and they were like that, okay? And they had this spirit level. So it was actually going, you know, down. The bubble wasn't straight, and then it was going the other way. And what it was saying is, if you're on a tightrope, you need to have a focus, and the focus is in front of you. When you are focused in front, when you are focused on your sort of journey, when you are focused on your goal, you are looking straight ahead, and that little bubble is center. If we go back to the past, okay, that bubble goes off. If we worry too much about the future, that bubble will go off again. And it's a spirit level, it's called, okay? So it's often referred to as a spirit guide, which was quite funny that they actually brought that in, you know, when it's sort of a, you know, like a tool, you know? But our spirit guides, and spirit is a tool that will help us get through life. So like I say, if we focus on this little green bubble, I'm actually imagining one right in my head, you know, all of the time. And it's like, am I centered? Keep checking on that little bubble in your head and seeing, are you centered? Because if you are centered, you will be going forward, okay? If that bubble is off center, you're either worrying, you're projecting, you're judging, you know, all of these egoic traits, you cannot have them when you are centered, okay? So I know that sounds really bizarre, but that's they told me to actually say that today. So I want to pull a spirit card to try and end this off on a nice note. I hope, you know, it's, like I say, you know, the messages are always important. They're not always what we want to hear, but I feel that they're what we need to hear. I feel this is how spirit works. And, you know, we are going through a testing time. You know, these next 3 weeks are going to be tough. But if you stay centered, you will get through them much easier than, you know, going massively off course and being dragged into the drama as well, you know. So, right, okay. Spirit card, please, for the 14th of August. Oh, this one, right. So I don't know what the answer to your question is. I don't know what the answer to you, what the question is that you're asking, but this is saying the answer to your question is no. Remember, you have free will. You are free to make your own decisions. Just remember that you need to take responsibility for any choice that you make. Meditate and see what your heart says. Now, this is quite strange because, again, that person looks like they're entrapped. It looks like they're sort of behind a fence in some way, and they're feeling like they can't go on. We have this in this. We have this sort of cage and feeling caged in. So I really feel today, look at areas of your life where you feel segregated or where you are holding yourself back. I mean, if we look at that, the wire or whatever it is on that is not very strong. She could force it open straight away and get in, but she's not choosing to. Her eyes are shut. She has a solemn look. It's the poor me attitude that comes with this. It's the worry as this is how life is going to be. You know, it's like, it's not a good place to be, this. You know, it's not. So this is it. You have free will. You choose to be sort of imprisoned or you choose to be enlightened. And every single one of us has that choice. Okay? So I massively apologise that these cards weren't nicer for the start of the week, but you know, I only pass on the messages that are needed to be passed on, but I hope they made sense in some way as well. Okay, if anybody would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. The link is below. I am fully booked this week. There is no bookings this week apart from emergency readings, but can I just stress, if you want an emergency reading, can you please contact me first just to make sure that there is availability. I know some people are just booking them and then, you know, I haven't got the time to do them. You know, it's like I say, time is very precious at the moment. You know, there's a lot of people wanting readings, and I am doing what I can. And also, I did say this on my weeklies. The weeklies are up if anybody hasn't watched them. If anybody is booking a reading via my schedule thing on my website, please bear in mind it works on a 24-hour clock. So if you book for, say, 4 o'clock your time, because obviously people are all over the world, it will be 16, okay, rather than 4. 4 will be 4 a.m. So it's a 24-hour clock. It's military time that the schedule actually works on as well. And again, like I say, I'm sorry I can't answer everybody's questions when they contact me, or sort of I can't comment on their particular situation. You know, you do need to book a reading for that. Okay, so have an absolutely fabulous day. Like I say, it's hold on tight. We're in for a bit of a bumpy ride, but you know, the ride always stops, and we always will get some thrill or some enlightenment out of it in the end. Okay, I'm sending a lot of love today because I really feel it's needed. Sat Nam.